Huge tunnels, underground temples, and entire cities with 20,000 inhabitants. All of this is what I want to tell you about. Today you will learn what the sacred mountain of Huashan hides, why people in the recent past created an underground city in France, and what unique discoveries scientists made in ancient caves located in Ecuador. And in the end, I will tell you about the most shocking theory of the origin of such cities, supported by all sorts of facts. Enjoy watching. I was literally shocked by the information I found. Did you know that in Turkey, there existed an ancient underground city that could accommodate up to 20,000 inhabitants? I was surprised too, and didn't believe this number, but after learning more about this amazing place, I realized that such estimates could be quite true. This city is called Derinkuyu, and it could well become the largest manually created underground structure in the world. It currently has about 12 floors, although there could be many more. The thing is, excavations of the city are still ongoing. But what amazes me the most is the technologies that people resorted to when creating this wonder. The city has its own water supply system, ventilation, and even sewage. Yes, the ones who built all this were definitely clever. Inside, you can find ordinary residential areas, stables for animals, food storage, bakeries, wineries, and even a cemetery. But who really needed such an amazing structure? Here, we need to delve into history. We will never know for sure, but the theory suggests that in the 5th century, this structure became a refuge for Christians who were hiding from the persecution of nomads. This is hinted at by the fact that a whole church can be found in the city, and even parish schools. In general, an extremely amazing structure. I also found footage from a well-known blogger who showed the beauty of this dungeon. I was most amazed by the peculiar doors used for protection against attacks. After all, these huge stone discs weighed too much. It seems that if someone ever closed the passage with them, reopening it would be impossible. I also found interesting the place where the locals cooked food. The thing is, they made fires right in the rock. And no, they didn't suffocate from smoke. As I mentioned earlier, there is a very well thought out ventilation system here, so building a chimney for them was a breeze. Locals cooked only at night, because during the day, smoke could be too easily noticed, which would attract enemies. The size of this city remains a mystery to me, as it does to many other people. The thing is that many passages are so small that even children have to bend down, not to mention adults. And here arises a logical question. How could people live for many years in such conditions? Doesn't it seem strange to you? Perhaps such a monstrous structure was built not by ancient Christians fleeing persecution, but by some advanced civilization. Personally, I lean more towards this theory. And here's the next city I want to tell you about. Slightly smaller than the previous one, but it played no less important role in people's lives. It was located in France, right under the city of Naours. It bears the same name, with one difference, that it is considered underground. But what is the story behind this amazing structure, and why was it so important to people? Now I'll tell you everything. Initially, this large underground structure served only one purpose, as quarries. Yes, they used to be ordinary mines, but around the 16th century, the network of underground tunnels was used differently. The locals of the city, which was located on the surface, sought refuge in these mines from various calamities, for example, from wars and religious persecutions. Since then, the former quarry was turned into a real city, with its own ventilation system, water supply, and even electricity. The city played the most important role during World War II. This place became a real military base and a haven for locals. The most amazing thing is that in such conditions, people always sought ways to entertain themselves, so they painted the walls. you can find many interesting pictures and inscriptions telling what people felt during shelter. Today, this city plays more of a tourist role. Many people come just to see what an underground city looks like. And also, a museum has been arranged here, presenting amazing artifacts. By the way, many of them were discovered precisely in Naours. But who knows, maybe all this was also created not by humans, but by someone else. The previous example personally seems less interesting to me than the city I'm about to tell you about. The thing is, only in the last century, in 1965, in Ecuador, a huge system of underground tunnels was discovered, and their extent is simply staggering. This discovery was made by the Argentinian scientist Juan Moritz, and he literally shocked everyone with his stories. The thing is, these underground passages clearly had a non-natural origin. Someone definitely created them manually. Why do people think so? Well, because at a great depth, there is its own ventilation system, the air ducts of which repeat with precise periodicity. And also, the walls and ceiling look as if they were polished. If you've been in caves created by nature, you'll surely remember how rough and sharp the walls are. And here, everything is perfectly smooth. Strange, isn't it? Furthermore, in this city, metal plates were found, on which someone engraved incomprehensible symbols. By the way, they could not be found anywhere else except on the plains from this cave. And since there was literally no mention of this labyrinth anywhere, the question arises: how many years has this amazing structure been around? Scientists also conducted various experiments and analysis of this place, and concluded that the underground city appeared in the middle of the Paleolithic era. What does this tell us? That such astonishingly massive structures were created 1,000,000 years ago. Just shocking. Who could have done this, and where did these people get metal from? At that time, only ancient humans existed, not to mention that they just knew how to make fire. What kind of civilization was this? Or perhaps they were aliens altogether? We will definitely not find the answer to this question, especially considering that besides the metal plates, nothing else was found in the caves. In China, something shocking was also discovered. I was very surprised because amazing caves which were definitely created manually were found right in a mountain at a tremendous height. Mount Huashan is located in the Shanxi province and belongs to the 5 sacred mountains. And it seems not without reason, because only in the last century did a local resident accidentally discover the entrance to the mysterious cave. In 1999, the investigation of a full-fledged city began. In total, 36 caves were found, each of which amazed with its scale. And it was also very surprising to see how the ceiling, walls, and even the floor were made as if from concrete slabs with very precise geometric shapes and sharp edges. So scientists had no doubt this cave was created manually. However, there were questions about who actually dug it. The age of the stalactites in this city amounted to, attention, 1,700 years. Shocking, isn't it? So there hasn't been a single person in this city since then. Otherwise, these formations would have simply ceased to exist. Apart from this, during the research, huge halls with stone columns, full-fledged pools, and even bridges crossing an underground river was discovered. It feels like all of this was created by humans. But is it really so? There's just a discrepancy here. Firstly, historical chronicles make no mention of such structures. Secondly, there are only mentions of temples visited by Chinese emperors. And there are steps from the cave system to them, but at the same time, the age of the temples doesn't match the age of the city. In general, it's all very strange. Personally, it seems to me that once upon a time, an ancient and highly educated civilization lived here. But for some reason, they had to leave these places. Who knows? Did they come out to the surface, or did they stay underground? diving even deeper. After all, almost all known caves are still not fully explored. But I found another piece of evidence that such civilization could indeed have existed. The thing is, in the northern part of Nepal, more than 10,000 caves were discovered. But the amazing thing is not even this, but the fact that all of them were created manually. Again, all this was clear even at first glance. After all, nature could not create such smooth surfaces. In addition, the caves were located at a height of more than 320 feet from a sheer cliff. And how could people possibly get there? This question remains a very big mystery, because according to scientists, these caves appeared even before the first civilizations known to us appeared. Several 100,000, if not millions of years. Apart from this, it is also surprising that many of these caves extend deep underground, so they also have their own ventilation system, which definitely indicates that those who created them were educated. But personally, this further reinforces my thoughts that in reality, we on Earth are far from the only species of living and educated beings. Consider this, many caves are still not fully explored. And also, in many chronicles and stories of different tribes, it is indicated that there were educated civilizations on our planet that lived in underground cities. So maybe all of this was true. This theory can be supported by the fact that beneath the largest and oldest cities, you can find a whole system of catacombs where people may have once lived. Take Moscow, for example. Nowadays, with the construction of many buildings, new discoveries related to the city's past are constantly being made. It is commonly believed that in ancient times, the city was predominantly built of wood. Only later did stone buildings begin to appear. But what if I told you that underground, during construction works, structures made of stone and brick dating back thousands of years were discovered? It's astonishing, isn't it? So besides this, there are now many claims from so-called diggers. People who enjoy extreme adventures where it's not allowed. They note that even in Moscow's sewage and drainage system, there are many strange bricked-up dead ends. There have even been cases where such adventurers were jailed for trespassing into forbidden areas. And all of this is further spiced up with stories of secret government bunkers, Metro 2, and other various conspiracy theories. And the fact that there is another city beneath Moscow on the underground is no secret. In general, there are so many mysteries that all that's left is to build conspiracy theories. You've probably also heard of the famous Maya pyramids located in Tikal. There are many legends surrounding them, as it is still unclear who and how they were built. Many sources claim the existence of an ancient educated civilization that once existed. Others say they were aliens. But today, we're not talking about the pyramids. We're talking about the underground cities. So, here it goes. I found an amazing article about geological research of this place. And what scientists discovered is shocking. Right beneath this pyramid complex, caves and even a whole labyrinth of tunnel systems were found. It seems they were used to connect different parts of this amazing city, and it's quite possible that people lived in them. And what scientists discovered is shocking. Right beneath this pyramid complex, caves and even a whole labyrinth of tunnel systems were found. It seems they were used to connect different parts of this amazing city, and it's quite possible that people lived in them. But why were they even needed when such amazing structures were being erected on the surface? Were they really just used to deliver letters and important cargo? Personally, I think it's a lie, designed to divert attention from the truth. The thing is, all these caves are still not fully explored. There are even passages that are blocked off and for some reason not cleared. And there are also plenty of ancient mentions of certain peoples and civilizations that came from underground and went back there. Add to this the fact that governments of countries prohibit enthusiasts from researching such places. And what do we get? what we get is that right beneath us, there may be thousands of educated beings walking around, living underground. They literally have everything they need for life, and their cities and even whole countries located underground have access to the surface literally all over the globe. If you want to delve into this topic more, I advise you to read about caves in mountains, what was found in the Caucasus, and how many underground caves have been fully explored. All these amazing facts will make you believe in these seemingly impossible theories about living beings who dwell in cities right beneath the ground. Well, I can only say that these are far from all the underground cities that have already been discovered on our planet. So, if you want more, write in the comments. Today, I've told you about the most famous underground cities from around the world. But who knows, there may be millions of tunnels created thousands of years ago by real professionals. And you know where professionals are also needed? In our team! Friends, you have opportunity to join our team. If you have skills in video editing, can voice videos in Russian, English, and other languages, or write interesting scripts, we'll be glad to work with you. Write to the Telegram bot, link in the description. And thank you for watching.